AJ, thanks for joining me, man. How are you doing today?
Doing great, brother. Doing good.
So the whole world wants to know, what's the deadlift up to now?
Trying to hit 700. Been actually doing a lot of banded deadlifts. As a lot of you guys know, I had a turf toe and knee injury that I'm healing up off of, doing great off that. But yeah, I'm working for a lot of explosive power. I haven't decided yet if I'm 197 or go up to heavyweight. But yeah, deadlifts going up for sure. I mean, I always tell people I could probably hit 700 here pretty soon. But it's just, we got to look at it. You got to stay explosive, stay powerful. I'm not like a power lifter or bodybuilder. I got to, my performance in the weight room is completely applicable to the wrestling mat, so you got to be able to apply it.
Right. I talk about that all the time with friends of mine. One guy's a bodybuilder. I'm like, bro, it's about functional strength. It's not about being jacked. You gotta be able to use it.
100%.
So, man, for those, I got a lot of MMA guys who listen to the podcast and stuff. So for those who don't know you, how did you first get started in wrestling?
Well, originally I'm from Texas, right? So we lived in Plano. I was born in Dallas, and basically moved to Plano. Lots of family there. It was great. My dad put me in wrestling originally to be able to defend my family, and me and my dad just fell in love with the grind of wrestling. We just fell in love with the grind of just how working people. Just loving the fact that it's a lot of sports are more genetic based or athletic based. But wrestling, you get to really show off your athleticism, but at the same time, if you're not the most athletic kid, you can strive to work for your style. So that's why wrestling is so great, because I feel like I can teach any kid. Anybody can wrestle, any girl or guy, and I can teach them how to wrestle. Have them be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, that's a big part of like grappling in general, because I do jiu-jitsu. It's the same concept. I'm not the most athletic guy, but you know what? I can be crafty, and I can go out and I can get the job done. And that's what's fun about grappling, I believe. It's just that aspect of it. So you are a freshman reigning national champion. That's not something many people can claim. How did that feel? Because after you had won it, you were excited, I could tell, but you weren't like super hyped. It's like you were like expecting to win.
Right. Well, I 100% expected to win. Going in, number one recruit. I was a award bronze medalist in Texas. I was the greatest Texas high school wrestler ever. And then coming to college, it's like, well, you had all these accolades in high school, but college is that level. I'm a 19-year-old kid, essentially, wrestling 25-year-old, 24-year-old grown men. So it's kind of crazy. So everybody was doubting me. I think if you would have bet on me to win, the odds were like something crazy. You would have won a lot of money if you would have bet on me at the NCAA championships to win. If you would have bet online. But for me, it was like, I am who I am because of, my faith in God, because of my family, because of my work ethic. So I knew I could do it. I knew I could, and I knew I would do it, when it came down to it. And I did it. It was crazy, And after I won, I had a huge celebration planned out and stuff. But it was just so emotional, man. It was like I went back to my room, and like all my buddies were like, man, what are you going to do? Party? You're going to try to talk to girls, trying to have a fun time? But for me, it was like so emotional. I was just in my room, crying, so emotional, like all the work, thousands and thousands and thousands of hours my dad had put in, that I had put in my basement, working out, all the extra stuff I did when nobody's watching, it showed.
Yeah, and it seems like you came out of nowhere to a lot of people, and it's not that. You put in all this work over all the years, the 10,000 hours and all that good stuff, and your national championship as a freshman is a good testament to that. Now, after that, you mentioned you were thinking about moving up to heavyweight. You mentioned it earlier. You're still undecided. Is that a Gable Stevenson thing? Is that somebody you're targeting, or is it just your coaches and your body and your team?
It's more my coaches, my body, and my team. Gable, was talking about crap online a while ago, but now we're good. Everything's fine now, so it's not that big of a deal. We kind of made up and talked through it. We just had different views on a lot of things. Which if you have different views, people who are strong in what they do kind of butt heads a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure. I could go heavyweight, try to throw my hands in that realm, or I could just stay at 197 for the next 4 years and be the greatest light heavyweight, wrestler ever. If I win 5, essentially, that would be insane to win 5. And then if I were to do that, I'd probably end up fighting at light heavyweight, 205 for MMA. So basically 197 pounds, multiple-time national champ, and then light heavyweight, UFC national champ or Bellator champ would be awesome too. So for me, it's just like I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying, the thing with me, I feel like that separates me is that like I love training. Like a lot of guys want to have these rewards, they want to have these accolades like that I have, but like I love training just as much as I love competing. Like right now, like I just worked out. I'm about to work out again later. Like I love working out. Like it's my passion. Like working out, whether it's training and lifting, whether it's explosive power training, whether it's wrestling, whether it's endurance, whether it's mental training, whatever it is. So yeah.
So you basically you just fallen in love with the grind is what it is.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did. And from a young age, it wasn't really a choice. Now it's like, man, I have to be the gladiator. If I'm not like a part of something where I'm pushing myself past exhaustion and while I'm in the war, while everybody's watching, it's like I'm missing out. It's like I need that adrenaline rush. I need that energy.
So you mentioned MMA. I'm gonna get to that in a second here, but I want to get to name, image, and likeness. You can now get your hustle on. Finally, the NCAA quit being old timey. What's your thoughts on it? Obviously, it's a good thing for you, for your teammates, for the whole country of college athletes, even.
Right. Oh, it's great. I mean, as NCAA athletes, we've been, working so hard. Now these schools are reaping the benefits of our name, image, likeness, especially someone like me who's, built up such a following and built up so many people that understand, how I got to where I am and what I stand for. So yeah, it's great that I can wear shirts like these, that I can support my clothing line, everything. I just started dropping these shirts. AJ Ferrari, Mr. Fast, which has my signature, and on the back it says 665-pound deadlift. We've got other ones to be flexing, gains of clock shirts that are about to come out. So basically, that's my clothing line with Mr. Fast, which full line, and then I'm working on supplements, working on all other types of sponsorships and endorsements. So it's just great because we work so hard in college, and like for someone like me, I would have had to wait till I graduate and had to drop out and then essentially fight to be able to make a huge living. Because wrestling is not that much money, but with this new NIL thing, the amount of money you can make is limitless. So it's awesome.
So I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and NIL LSU football is huge here. Joe Burrow would have been absolutely loaded should NIL have been around when he was in football, because he was a sensation, and the fact that you guys are now getting to make your money for it, it's completely. I've been calling for it for years anyway, so I'm happy for you guys there. MMA, you mentioned the UFC. I love it. I love that idea. The wrestlers seem to be the cream of the crop when it comes to mixed martial arts. Are you interested in the Olympics for freestyle, or are you more interested in mixed martial arts?
I'm interested in both, so I'd like to, possibly wrestle through either 2024 or 2028. I'm thinking about wrestling through 2025, whether or not I go up to heavyweight or not. Honestly, right now with my body, I'd probably rather stay 197 just because it's easier on my body. I can focus on staying athletic, staying functional, staying flexible versus having to put on this like muscle mass. I mean, it's not healthy to have to eat so much to go heavyweight, So I'd rather honestly go 197 and then just win 5 titles. And then for the next 3 years after that, wrestle through 2028, win the Los situation, and then fight it, in the UFC. So, I have a lot of opportunities. I could always coach too, a lot of money in coaching, giving back to the sport, which I will do eventually either way, whether it's coaching wrestling or MMA or the grappling part of, MMA. But, yeah, that's my passion. And I also love, working out. So it's kind of like a combination. I just love training. I feel like that's why people attract to my page, because they see, whatever I do to the best of my ability when it comes to my working out, my fitness, my lifting, my wrestling, and my grappling and MMA too.
So are you striking already?
Yeah, I am. I just really begun doing that seriously. I had been doing it a little in and out from a young age, but I've always had a super long reach for my height, which is very ideal for me.
What's your wingspan?
I think it's like 6'6". I'm 6 foot. It's like 6'6", give or take a little more. I think the most of our I stretched one time. They stretched my arms, and I was like 6'7". So if I stretch, I can be up to 6'7". But I have very long arms and broad shoulders for my height. I'm right under 6 foot. I'm 5'11" and 3 to 6 foot is my height.
You've got a 4-inch. You're only 4 inches behind John Jones, who has the longest arms I've ever seen. That's ridiculous. The 78 reach is insane. So
right, yeah.
This next wrestling season,
right?
What can your fans and your haters expect from you?
They can expect, it's the same age that you're gonna get that you always get. Me, it's the type of person that I really don't care what people think that much. For me, it's like whatever God, my coaches, and my family, and my fans want to see is what I'm gonna do. So I go out there and I'm gonna do my thing. I bust my butt outside the wrestling arena. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I put my hands, whatever my hands find to do, I do with all my might, as it says. But yeah, it's gonna be great with all these shirts. Everybody can support me. Walking in the arena, it's gonna be a champ. it's just it's a lot. But at the same time, coming off this injury, I'm kind of behind. I got to get back to the game. And the thing with wrestling is like it's not like football. It's not like basketball where if you're 7 feet tall, you can kind of just like do your practices and kind of settle with who you are. I've constantly got 40 to 50 guys in the country that are some of the best, toughest guys in the country that are trying to cut my head at all times. So I have to always be, getting better. Can't stay complacent. And being the reigning national champ, I've got a target on my back now. So I understand that. And I'm ready. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win it again. And to continue doing what I do. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. A lot more is coming.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Where can everybody find the future 5-time NCAA national champion on social media, all your shirts? Where can everybody find? Give your plugs.
Mr. Fast Twitch on everything. Mr. Fast Twitch is my Instagram, Twitter. You can just type in AJ Ferrari, Mr. Fast Twitch, near full line of clothing. It's on Google. I have a link in my bio on Instagram too. So yeah, I post workout video, training videos, a little funny content once in a while. I always like to, keep you guys up to date on how's everything going, So yeah, I feel like wrestlers, we train so hard. We work our butts off. It's such a hard sport. I mean, anybody that wrestles knows the amount of dedication it takes, that it's a lifestyle with dieting, nutrition, eating right, living the right lifestyle outside the wrestling, mental preparation, watching film, lifting, it's a lot. So you combine all that. So I think that with me, it's so huge that I'm like so big on social media that I help grow wrestling, because I feel like, I've gotten time on SportsCenter, on ESPN, which is huge for wrestling, to get us, the show that we deserve,
Right. Definitely, for sure. AJ, I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll talk. We're going to definitely link up again, especially before wrestling season. I appreciate you coming on, man, and I'll be looking forward to watching you yelling at my TV.
No problem, brother. Yep, just let me know whenever you want to do another one. It was great talking to you, homie.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video and these talks I had. Hope you enjoyed my guest and all of my topics on the show. If you enjoyed this and you want to support the podcast, you can always check me out on Patreon. Patreon is a crowdsourced funding where you pay $5 a month, for my example, $5 a month, and you get exclusive content every Monday. Every Monday, content just for you, including the career watch through of Khabib Nurmagomedov, if that might interest you. Other things I have in the pipeline after the Khabib will be the ruthless reign of Robbie Lawler, Mike Tyson's revenge, and much more. It's great. I hope you all enjoy this, and yeah, check me out on Patreon. It's fun, and I think you guys would like it. Patreon.com/Fight Library. You could find me on there, Fight Library everywhere. So guys, thank you again, and have a good one.